Her name is Rosia Faust. She had been separated from her fiancé Vilek, who was taken by the Soviet army when they retreated from the advancing Nazi war machine. She survived the ghetto of Rohatyn, a small town in Poland, by taking on the identity of a dead Ukrainian girl, and by the courage of a righteous woman, Anna, who risked her life and that of her children to shelter Rosia. But survival is not the same as liberation. Liberation came to her in pieces. One day, after months hiding alone in an abandoned house, she heard explosions which rocked the walls of the building. Water pipes burst, flooding the basement where she was hiding. She thought this was the end. Then she heard shouting. Russian soldiers? They burst in with bayonets raised, screaming at her, thinking she was a Ukrainian nationalist fighter. She whispered the only words that she could manage. Shema Yisrael, Baruch haba. Silence. The commander said, "Let her loose. She's a Jew." That was the moment that Rusia's life was handed back to her. But liberation is not a single moment. It's a long, uneven return to life. When she emerged from hiding, she learned the truth that out of 6,500 Jews in the ghetto of Rohatyn, only 34 had survived. She walked through the town that had been once her home and now felt like a graveyard, knowing that her parents, her brothers, and those she had loved had been murdered. And then, just when she thought she had no strength left, life reached for her again. She worked in the post office, and one day a woman arrived with letters from Jews scattered across the Soviet Union. She asked, "Are you Rosia Faust, daughter of David?" Rosia nodded, and then she said the words that changed everything. Volodya Galperin. Is that name familiar to you? If so, I have a letter for you. Volodya Galperin. Rosia thought, that's Russian for Vilek Halpern. My beloved, my Beshert. He was alive in Kyrgyzstan, and he was waiting for her. He had written, "I long to see you again. Your place is with me." That letter was Rosia's second liberation. She traveled across the Soviet Union, through Lvov, Kiev, Moscow, and Tashkent. And then, on May 8, 1945, she arrived in Kizukia, the day before Germany's surrender. When Vilek walked through the house and caught her as she nearly fell to the floor, she knew this was her return to life. They held each other, kissed away 4 years of fear and suffering, and began again, not with a wedding, not with a celebration, but with gratitude that they had survived long enough to love each other again. Liberation gave Rosia breath. Love gave her life.